Hi, besties. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out, but one day I just woke up and told myself, you know what? I wanna yap today. And that's what we're doing. I barely talk to my friends because we're adults and we're too busy being adults. So today I'm gonna pretend that you guys are my best friends and that we're having a sleepover. You wanna say hi, Olive? Okay, I think he's just gonna stay there for a while. What are we gonna talk about today? So I went online and I asked you guys if there's any topic that you'd like me to talk about, and I got a lot of response. Most of you guys asking for a life update because I've been on a down low on social media for a while and I kind of kept my life a little more private. I'm not as active on social media as I used to before, but we're still here. So today we're going to talk about my life after leaving the Philippines and moving to the UK. Okay, so what made me want to move here? So I met my husband in high school. We were classmates in high school and we remained friends until after he moved back here. And a few months after he moved here, that's when we started dating. So, of course, we always had a talk about me visiting here and, like the possibility of me moving here for good if we ever end up together. We got married in 2019, but I stayed in the Philippines because being in a long distance relationship wasn't really an issue for us. So we didn't really rush things. And I was doing my own thing in the Philippines, and he was doing his own thing here. So in 2022, that's when we decided for me to move here. So I did. At first, I was really excited because finally I can be with my husband every day of the year and we can have our little married couple fantasy moment. I just wanted to be a big girl doing big girl things like getting a job because in the Philippines, I never really had to get a job. Like, it wasn't a priority to me. But I was also earning money through my small businesses here and there, so I was okay financially. I will always be grateful for the privilege I had growing up because my parents worked so hard for what we have now, especially my dad, financially supporting not only me, but all my family. I was at home every day with my sister and my parents, and I never wanted to move out because I was so dependent on them and I was living the life in the Philippines. Like, I was doing everything that I ever dreamed of as a kid, and that is also the hardest part, is leaving your family behind, knowing how close you are. And also I feel like no one talk about this enough. Well, I have four cats and one dog in the Philippines, and leaving them is as hard as leaving your family and friends behind because they are your family. Those are my babies, but good thing is my sister is taking care of them anyway. So when I moved here, the first thing I did was to find a job. Finding a job was a big struggle for me because I never really had an experience and this will be my first ever job. I didn't have anything to put on my CV. CV is like a resume for those who don't know. Um and I swear I remember at one point I put content creator slash entrepreneur on my CV as my previous experiences because that's what I did. I'm not saying it's not a real job. It is, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't related to anything that I applied for, so it didn't really help. And 2 months later, still no job. I'm not gonna say I was depressed, but I was really down and I was really sad. Like, I was crying every day, and I'm glad my parents were there to support me. They were messaging and calling me every single day, just trying to make sure I'm okay. My family who lives here, they were also trying their best to help me, and they even offered me to stay with them if I wanted to. Of course, there's my father-in-law and my husband, and my husband is just the best. And there was a time where my husband Anthony was apologizing for bringing me here and causing my sadness because I was literally crying to him every single day. It's not his fault, bless him. It was never his fault. Again, he tried his best to make everything better for me, and he did. And I wouldn't be here without him, like literally. I realized that I rush myself to get my shit together and be stable as soon as I can, knowing that I've never done this before, and I expected too much for myself without giving myself time to adjust. That's why the first thing you should do when moving to a different country is to take your time to adjust and familiarize yourself with things, the culture, the environment, the people, and just everything around you, really. And once it felt like I was ready, I found this agency that offers a job with no experience. So they offered me a job in a warehouse as a warehouse operative. And I swear, I thought I was gonna die. I thought I wasn't gonna survive because I've never done something this physically draining. And everyone who knows me would be so shocked, so surprised, and so proud that I'm doing this, that I'm doing what I'm doing now. So I was enjoying my job, I was doing my best, and a month later, they offered me a position as a line leader. I got promoted a month later after working in a warehouse, and that is my first ever job. So I was really impressed with myself that I get to do that. Now I'm not only physically drained, I'm also mentally drained. But at least I'm earning more money now. And that is the whole point of doing this. Now, I want to talk about a few culture shocks and like new things that I needed to learn and adjust after moving here. First thing is the language or the slang. Speaking English was never a problem for me, but in the Philippines, we speak American English, if you'd like to call it. And there are words that I use that can mean a totally different thing to them, and there are words that I use that I don't really understand. It wasn't so hard learning their slang, and I feel like I learned it pretty quick. People here still think that I sound American. Like they always ask whether I'm from Canada or America, but I swear I don't sound American. I just sound like a typical Filipina who lives in the city in the Philippines. Also, not having a bidet is like the hardest thing for me because us Filipinos we like to keep it extra clean down there, so having a bidet is a must. And drinking straight to the faucet or the tap water. Obviously, the water system here is very clean and very safe to drink, but my tummy were making weird noises for a few weeks. And yeah, basically my body needed time to adjust drinking tap water because in the Philippines we always drink like filtered water because we can drink straight from the tap. But yeah, there's no difference with the taste. It tastes the exact same thing as filtered water and tap water. I also love that life status here isn't really a big deal. Like whether you're upper class, lower class, or middle class, you're gonna be treated the same way as everyone else. Everyone is just equal as it should be, and I really, really love that. So, how did I cope? Having a good support system is the best thing, and for me, that is my family. They still call me and message me every single day, and we always talk about the same thing every single day. But talking to them is just the highlight of my day. My husband is also my rock. We're literally just besties having a sleepover every single night. Next is going out and planning dates. Whether you're going out with friends or alone, it's always have something planned to look forward to because I feel like the day goes faster, the weeks goes faster when you have something to look forward to. That is also why me and Anthony likes to go out every weekend, rewarding yourself. You've worked hard, you've earned the money, and you deserve to treat yourself once in a while. It can be buying yourself a nice little gift or buying yourself some good food. That is also why eating dishes from your home country and having some things that reminds you of home can also be a big help. Before, I didn't really know how to cook. Like, I can barely cook an egg or noodles or hot dogs. So I went online, taught myself how to cook because I'm always craving for lumpia, sinigang, adobo, and all that, and pancit. So now I can satisfy my cravings and I can eat whatever I want anytime I want. Journaling. I just started journaling and it's so nice to just write what you feel at that very moment and just be vulnerable without anyone knowing. And I always write my goals there and look back to it to reminds me what my priorities are. And of course, my little babies, my everything, aka my world, aka my cats, named Luffy and Olive. They're actually right here and right there right now. They're sleeping, just listening to me talk to myself. I feel like they're used to it by now. But yeah, they're both adopted. Um, they are my motivation to work hard because I want to give them a good life, and that's all I've ever wanted. And they are also the main reason why I'm so motivated to stay here because if I'm moving back to the Philippines and I can't bring them with me, then I'm not moving back. If I had to stay here for them, then I will. Decorating your room and having your own little space. I stay in my room most of the day and I'm always here all the time. I sleep here, I relax here, I do everything here. My room is my safe space, and it's nice to know that I'm going home to a place where I'm comfortable with. So instead of just me crying in my room, now it cheers me up knowing I have this cute little things in my room and I like what I see, like my stuffed toys, my Hello Kitty stuff, and everything. So yeah, living everything you know and learning new things as an adult can be very hard. But the fact that you are here and doing it just shows how independent and strong you are. If you're feeling lonely or you're scared to try new things, just know that you're not alone. I'm sure that there are millions of people that are going through the same thing as what you're going through. You're going to look back in a few years thanking yourself that you managed to survive all the challenges that you face and, just being glad that you did this for your future. Well, that's just how it is. I'm not really sure what else to talk about, and my throat is hurting now, and I'm kind of hungry, so I gotta stop yapping. Anyway, if I'm gonna call this a podcast, I'm gonna call it Irish but Asian Podcast. Just because I didn't really realize how big deal my name was since I moved here. Because every time I introduce myself as Irish, I always get the death stare of like, no, you're not. You're not Irish. You're very much Asian. And also, that's my username on my Finsta. So, Irish but Asian podcast. Okay, if you want me to talk about any particular topic, you can always comment down below or DM me on Instagram and we'll see what we can do. Until next time, bye.